Hello. Welcome. Happy New Year, I guess, to everyone watching. Footy Fantasy Pod. We're back again, 2023, pushing our content. Before I go into, hope everybody's doing well and safe, staying safe. And if you're watching, like, share, subscribe. Footy Fantasy. I'll put the ticker on the screen shortly. On all our socials, Footy Fantasy. Support, like, share, subscribe, like you always do. Uh, let's introduce part of the team. Two of our team people could not make it, so it's just three of us today. And to kick off the new year, EJ, thanks for coming on.
Hello.
Arsenal fan EJ, spreading chest like bed sheets. People your shoulders are high right now.
Why not? Why not?
Okay, we can see. Arsenal favorites now. This is no team has ever, no team has ever at this stage of the season not won the league with 43 points. So
Yeah,
Arsenal have to win the league now.
it's looking good for us.
They just have to win the league. Only if they're going to be, the first team not to win it at this stage. So, but we'll see. They're favorites now according to everybody. So, Ogakwave, United fan. The runs are reduced, so it looks like United is doing well.
Oh yeah, look, listen. It's not too much of a bad time to be a United fan, but happy to be here. Happy New Year to you, Ayo.
Okay. Let's just dive in. Let's dive right in to. So this is Footy Fantasy Awards. We're not talking anything Premier League yet. I know games are on. We'll kick that off from next week and catch up all the games. But today is just the awards for the whole of last year. We'll start with EJ. Ladies first. Who was your coach of the year 2022? The calendar year, EJ.
Right.
Yeah.
I went with.
I asked you calendar year. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to go with my coach because he's doing amazing things, but I think he'll win it next year. We'll go with Carlo Ancelotti. And that's who I'm picking as my coach for the year, just because of the way he won with Real and the way they won the league and the Champions League. So I like that.
Okay. I guess that's a fair. I guess that's a fair selection because they're still joint top of the league now. That's a fair selection, Carlo Ancelotti. Kwame, who's your coach of the year?
I was about to remove myself from this stream had EJ said Mikel Arteta because I hear you Arsenal fans, but when we say calendar year, from January 1st, 2022 until December 31st, 2022, not from August 2022. I just make that clear. I had to go with Ancelotti as well. It was a toss-up between the person who won the Champions League and the person who won the World Cup. Scaloni was a little. That World Cup was more about Messi than Scaloni. The Champions League, shut up, the Champions.
You didn't say anything.
I can. The face says 1,000 words. I don't know, but the Champions League, the way Carlo Ancelotti won it, coming behind, beating the best English teams, one after the other, it was not a fluke. So yeah, I have to go with what's his face, Carlo Ancelotti. Had Argentina won the Copa America in 2022 and not in 2021, then maybe Scaloni would have had a bigger shout. But Ancelotti.
Okay. Wow. Look at this people doing. Okay. My coach of the year. Like you rightly predicted, and I'll give my reasons why I'm giving coach of the year. All right. Argentina's trajectory. Hold on. Let's just relax.
I am, bro.
Just relax. Let me loud.
Okay.
The whole year, right? They did not lose a game. They were unbeaten all year. The one game they lost, right? People had already created the funeral of Argentina against Saudi Arabia. The funeral was already written, Then you have to understand a couple of things first. From their Copa America run, right? Their major player was one of their major players. Also, their major player lost. They lost Lo Celso, who was critical in the way they played, like just right there. And they lost kind of. Di Maria wasn't really fit for this World Cup. They had to rush him back. Same with Lautaro. And throughout the tournament, this man made big calls and big adjustments. Let's remember this. He benched the whole midfield. Benched Paredes after that first game. Benched the guy that played around Paredes. Brought in Enzo Fernandez, who's a kid. He brought him into the starting lineup straight up. And he did all of this still managing the Eagles. Because let's remember, Lautaro had a horrible World Cup.
Yes.
He had a horrible World Cup. But he still trusted him to take the final kick. He still trusted him in the final when, what's his name? Alvaro. I think Alvaro Fernandez was kind of tailing off and brought in Lautaro, right? And he was on that kind of, gave the assist for the third goal in extra time. His man coached and managed the team through all the phases of and you have to understand his trajectory. This is a man, people forget, when he was hired as Argentina's coach, RIP Maradona. Maradona said, this man cannot coach a traffic light. He cannot
control traffic. Yes.
This is the kind of, people forget all of this. Then second, to be a coach, you coach Messi's last World Cup, right? With all the narratives, the pressure that Argentina has done. Because the last time they won was 86, right? That's almost 40 years ago. All the expectation, all the different failures that have happened, throughout the years. So I said all this to say, I get the Ancelotti shout, but I always look at why I'm giving Scaloni is just resources, right? When you look at the resources both of them had to work with, he had less resources, of course, right? Argentina was one of the top 3 teams in the World Cup. They were not. Let's be serious. They were not the top 3 teams squad. Let's be serious. Argentina was not in the top 3 teams. Let's not try to narratives. Coming to the World Cup, they were not top 3 team.
You mean like in FIFA rankings?
Just squad, just performance, just their squad, talent-wise. They were not.
But you just said they won all their games leading up.
Correct. That's performance. I'm saying talent-wise.
Brazil were rated higher than they were in terms of talent. England was, yes.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
I think
they were not.
I think the argument about talent is weird because a national World Cup team, a World Cup team picks their best talent from every country. So they're as talented as their people are. I mean, are we comparing them to other teams for a reason?
Yes, that's what I mean. Comparing to other teams, right? Like Brazil was. Everybody was saying Brazil, France had by far the best squad, right?
Yeah. But Ayo, remember the podcast we did as a preview to the World Cup?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was sitting here writing off Argentina. We acknowledge.
I didn't say they were underdogs. I didn't say they were underdogs. And
because we of course everybody was talking about Brazil and the firepower.
Right.
Best. People were talking about England. People were talking about France and Germany,
Portugal
a little bit.
Yeah.
And Argentina was also up there. A lot of us.
I took Argentina to my final. Except someone told me Brazil will win, so I had to flip. Yeah. I had to make them lose in the semis.
But the major reason, right?
Most of us had Argentina getting to the semi-final.
What was the major reason?
That what?
That people had Argentina, picked Argentina. It's because
I have no idea.
It was because
clearly they lost.
No, it's because they had Messi. It's
correct.
Because they had a good squad as well. They had a good cohort of players. I mean, it wasn't because of their manager. I'll tell you that.
Yep.
I didn't know that manager's name till. Honestly, I didn't. But that's me. Let's not use me as a yardstick. I didn't know that manager's name until he won the cup.
Yeah.
I hear
you. I hear you.
When it comes to resources, right? They had less resources to work with. Look at
Ancelotti. Yeah, of course. It's not the same. Real Madrid is one of the most,
that means themselves, right? That's the reason why I cannot. But if I'm not arguing against him not being chosen, I'm just saying why I'm not going to Ancelotti's because that midfield is pretty much them. I call them like those are midfield coaches. They had the midfield playing for him, like all timers in the midfield. Number one, and even though football is a winning game, the way they won all those ties, knockout ties, I still have I have a slight like if you play some of those knockout ties 5-7 times, Madrid doesn't come out of that tie. Like the Chelsea,
I get that.
Yeah, that's my own. That's just my reason why I said okay, slight notch is why I give it to Scaloni. That's just my.
I think level of difficulty. I think even just the Champions League alone is more difficult than the World Cup. I think the caliber of teams you're facing in Champions League, best in their leagues with these clubs that they're playing are more stacked, more talented than any World Cup team can put together.
Absolutely.
I think
in Champions League you deal with the struggle of playing home and away.
Yeah.
So, and the struggle of playing in the league at the same time. Ancelotti won both the league and the Champions League.
You can also flip it and say coaches have what 10 months with these players.
That is true.
Right.
That's
a fact.
And this World Cup, they barely had 2 weeks.
That's true.
Right.
So
and that's why he cannot be the coach of the year, because he didn't play. He barely used those. Barely had time with those players to do anything.
That's why you have to respect his in-game management, right? You think it was because he kept changing players. He did
keep changing players. Like I saw he did keep changing players.
You have to respect
variation of players in that midfield.
I mean, the sample size is small.
Again, winning the World Cup with Nicolas Otamendi and Romero centre back, guys.
You know what? That's
what
listen, I'm not even gonna lie. In their first game, and when I saw Otamendi and Romero as the centre backs, I'm like, Argentina are done. Especially after Saudi Arabia beat them, I'm like,
average centre backs. Let's be serious. Bang average.
Otamendi was an expired centre back 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think we have comments. Let's see what they're saying. Carlo for me as well, with Arteta and Eddie are sharing second spot. Okay, fair enough.
James, what's wrong with this guy?
Hey, I was born in 1986. It was 36 years ago. Okay.
Whoa. James needs to chill out. What is this Arsenal love? What's wrong with this guy?
He's right. Ha 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 ha.
He's not right. EJ knows he's not right.
EJ knows he's not right.
No, I think he's completely right.
You think he's right? You do?
I mean, Carlo is first. I agree that next is probably Pep, if we're being honest. I don't think Arteta is far.
Wait, you said Carlo is first? Who's second?
Yeah. Like maybe Pep. Like we can't ignore these other managers that are actually good.
And then Arteta third?
Yeah. I think whatever happened with Liverpool towards the end of the season, or towards the end of the year, negated everything Klopp did in first part of the year.
You can't
put
Arteta
for you, EJ. For you, EJ.
Arteta had a wonderful season last year. I kept trying to tell you guys. He just missed out like this. 3 games.
But you're not using that same logic to now negate.
It was 3 games.
A coach that actually won 2 trophies, really, EJ, really.
Klopp lost almost 7 games this season.
They won 2 trophies, did he not?
Okay.
Team of the year. Let's go to team of the year. I'll let Oga come and start. Who's your team of the year?
Team of the year, man. I'm just gonna have to say, you know what? I'm going wild. Newcastle United, because I don't know. They've had a very solid calendar year. Yes, we can talk about the money that came in from Saudi Arabia, but not many teams make that money work for them that quickly. And Eddie Howe has managed to assemble a crop of players who, like, their midfield is just Bruno Guimaraes, Joel Linton. How did Joel Linton become a footballer all of a sudden? Like, how did he start to play football? Dan Burn, they brought him from Brighton. Him and I forgot that center back. I forgot that center back that they brought in. Look, they went from having Jamal Lascelles, right? Making the defense so shaky. These men are solid.
You mean Botman?
Huh?
They bought Botman, Sven Botman.
Exactly. And these guys are solid. They're solid as a rock defensively. Nick Pope is a very good goalkeeper. I personally think Nick Pope should be England's #1 goalkeeper. Yes, Aaron Ramsdale ahead of Aaron Ramsdale. And Kieran Trippier. And you know what's even crazy? They spent 60-something million on Isaac. Man has been injured. Looks like nothing ever happened. All of a sudden, Callum Wilson. I mean, he's always been a baller, but the man is getting the best being brought out of him. Alan Saint-Maximin, one of their best players, injured. Looks like nothing ever happened. What's that guy from Arsenal? Joe Willock. All of a sudden, man can play football again. Miguel Almiron. Ever since Jack Grealish talked about Almiron, Grealish became Almiron.
Yeah, that's true. They flopped.
It's just been crazy. So yeah, for the calendar year, I'm going Newcastle United.
That's a very good shout. I'm sure our resident Newcastle fan Raji will be so happy with this comment.
Yeah.
He's always texting me that we don't talk about Newcastle enough.
There he goes.
Newcastle team of the year. Okay, that's a big shout. EJ.
I'm sticking with Real Madrid for the same reasons. Again, those comeback wins against Chelsea, City, and then it wasn't a comeback win against Liverpool. Just really, really solid wins. It looked like they were dead and out, and then they fired through. So yeah, they still, and then they won the league. So team of the year for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
God.
My team of the year. No. My team of the year. I have two shouts before I tell my team of the year, right? Two shouts. Let me just give them. They came close, but I edged. They were edged for different reasons. Man City, just because of their start, second half has been kind of and Champions League, they were better. I mean, they were a better team for like 2 and something minutes, and just like 10 minutes, they got knocked out. So that ticks them down a little bit. My second shout is Argentina. Just for winning the World Cup against all odds, all the pressure. But yes, I agree with you, Jay. I think my team of the year. Oh, sorry, my last shout is England national team, the female national team, female national team, not
Okay.
national team, but winning the World Cup. That was incredible, the female national team. So I think we don't talk enough about female football. We need to start, doing more on this pod. But yes, I agree. Real Madrid won the Champions League and also won the league very comfortably. Let's remember that they won the league title very, very comfortably in Spain.
Yeah.
They're very comfortable, and Barcelona didn't even come close to them last season. And to just keep that same, for that team to find a way, because it always feels like Real Madrid, like when it gets to like the business end of the season, they just like they find a way and just start motivating themselves. It's incredible how they keep doing this, right? It's just incredible. In like 7 years, they won like 5 Champions League. So now it's not even like a run, it's not like a lock. They have this winning mentality, championship DNA, right? They're a dynasty. They are pretty much like a dynasty.
Oh yeah.
The ways that they dig into. And you can see it, right? Because when you see the core of that team, see them separately in their national teams. Look at how they're performing. Modric, best player for Croatia, right? Casemiro, I know he's back in United now, but he played most of last season in Madrid. Best player for now, but I think it was best player for Brazil, best player for United. Charmaine was one of the best midfielders for France. Kamavinga, changed our World Cup final.
From Germany,
Correct. Kamavinga changed our World Cup final when he came in. So they just know how to assemble players who I think know how to find that extra winning mentality when it's needed. So
Question about Valverde. What happened to him at the World Cup? Did he not go?
He did. Uruguay was just terrible, man. Uruguay are terrible.
But I didn't even see him play any of the games.
He didn't have he played all the games. He just had he had a Male World Cup.
Okay.
He had the Male World Cup. So team of the year, Real Madrid. Ogakame has who did you pick again, Ogakame?
I had Newcastle.
Newcastle, okay. So Real Madrid, Newcastle. Player of the year, EJ. Who's your player of the year?
Benzema. You see, I have a theme. I'm very consistent. I think Benzema won Ballon d'Or for a very good reason, and he was the best player this year. Obviously, that was till the end of August, I would say. So that's enough of the year to qualify for that. He wins that for me. Next year, it will be someone else.
Number 8 is loading. That's what I'm going to say. Don't joke with that one. Number 8 is loading.
What? I mean, like Mbappe.
Oh. Number 8 is loading for somebody. That's what I'm going to say. The 8th one is implement.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think either or. We can see what will happen. I think Messi has like one leg into the Ballon d'Or title, whatever it's called, the cup, for next year. The second leg will drop if no one else does something spectacular. I think he has one foot in the door.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I think for him to actually solidify that 8th Ballon d'Or, there has to be something PSG achieves in the Champions League this year. I'm sorry.
Yes.
It can't just be winning league. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah. They're gonna have to go to the final.
Does that not
Oh, well,
disqualify?
I think semifinals may be enough. Semifinals may be enough. They win the league title and then he's won the World Cup. He should be fine. Someone asked me what will Mbappe do to win the Golden Boot. And I said, what did I say on Twitter? I was like, Messi probably has to stop playing for the rest of the year. And Mbappe wins the Champions League single-handedly
Exactly.
with his
By
team.
itself, right?
Like,
Which
because
we know
they're
is
the
not.
same team. So they're
Yeah.
sharing the glory. Whatever
Exactly.
happens with PSG, Messi gets part of that glory too. And you know he's not going to be inconsequential in that. Like, he has to
And
be
Neymar.
injured. Yeah. And Neymar, exactly. So
Yeah.
it'll be hard. I think Messi has one hand on that. What is it called? A trophy? Yeah.
It's a ball.
But that's next year. It's a ball, right? He has
Yeah.
one hand on it. It's next
Yes,
year.
one
This year's Ben. It's Benzema this year.
Okay, player. Yeah, player of the year. My player of the year. Right. Oh, sorry. We got comment. Your turn. Sorry.
No, you go. I want you go first. You go.
For my player of the year. No, I was good. I'm the same thing with hers actually. It's Benzema. It's Benzema. I think it's
Okay.
Benzema.
I
I
choosing
think
his answer. That's how
no,
giving your answer first.
no. It's my player of the year was Benzema. Right. Messi
Okay.
gets a shout out, but it was Benzema. Benzema was incredible. I mean, like he had like close to 40 something goals and assists. He was incredible.
Yeah.
Throughout Champions League, their league run. Yeah. So it's because
same
Messi was
here,
kind of quiet. Messi was kind of quiet early in the season. Early in the year,
Okay.
sorry. Early in the year. He was quiet.
Right.
Yeah. A little bit.
Well,
Just a little.
yeah, I agree with that. I think it's just always very questionable how Benzema just doesn't seem to do well with the French national team.
It was so
it's
strange.
always a mystery. I don't get it. But yeah, I mean, I can say he single-handedly dragged Real Madrid to that Champions League victory. So yeah. And this is probably his last. I think this is his last year/season at that very top level. I don't see
35.
I don't see Benzema achieving more or even close to what he's done in the last year.
I agree. 100%. Top three. This one I like this one because this one could just be very varied. Kwame, what are your top 3 goals of the year?
Bruh. I won't lie. I had to go watch a YouTube video for this one just to remind me of what happened. Way too many goals, but I had to pick my goals from not only the quality of those goals, but also the stage on which they were scored. So I have to pick Kylian Mbappe's equalizer during regulation time against Argentina in the World Cup final. The technique on that volley was just ridiculous, and I think I've seen him score something like that again with PSG, but to do it at the final of the World Cup was just like he pretty much by himself took France close to winning their second.
No, I have a controversial opinion about that goal.
Whatever. I don't want to hear it.
No.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me what your opinion is.
Goal, like of course, mentality. Like I always try to phrase this because people always think when I have a different opinion, I hate the player. No. Good goal. I'm big Mbappe fan. Everybody knows that. I think people exaggerate the quality of the volley, in my opinion, just because of the moment it happened. People got carried away because you see, like all the quality strikers scored that goal. People make it sound like it was an unbelievable. Oh, it's like it's a volley. Like people scored this. Like Lewandowski was doing this for fun. Like even in La Liga this season, like people scored goals like this. You know, like Aguero was scoring goals like this. Like people made it look like that volley was so hard. Like it was like Rooney's goal, right? People made it like it was like one or maybe Giroud's type of goal. The one is called against Crystal Palace. Like people make it look like it's an unbelievable goal you've never seen before. I'm like, I just think it's the moment, and I agree. I'm not saying it should not be top 3, but I think it's the moment. I just have a different opinion about the quality. Like people made it look like it was this like all that worldly type of quality. I think it was just a good goal.
I've seen him score goals. Like I said, I've seen him score goals like that before in league. But again, to do that at that stage, and also the technique was quite difficult. The ball was It was going to the ground, and for him to still keep that power while he was falling down.
Yeah.
I think that was still quite difficult. I mean, regular strikers would have just controlled the ball and tried to finish it off. But I was expecting him to do the same, just control the ball, finish it, because it looked like he had at least enough space to take a touch.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, on the stage made it a bigger goal than it really was. I agree with that. My second was Fede Valverde's goal. I think it was against Cadiz. Where he ran 70 yards or something like that and finished it off with his left foot top corner, like just absolute madness. That guy, and I think he scored 2 crazy goals in that game, something like that.
Yeah.
So that I mean, I also looked at Heung-min Son's goal against Leicester City. Actually, both of them. One with the left foot, one with the right. But Leicester. But my third one was Al Series goal against Argentina.
Such a good please.
Yo, no. Again, the stage was this. Look, listen, that guy he's the reason the entire Saudi Arabian team, including coaches, including janitors, including the cooks, including the dishwashing, boot washing people, the guy that brings the orange, the guy that cleans, bruh, is the reason all of them are driving Rolls Royces today. He is the reason. So big up to Al Dawasiri. What a goal by Saudi Arabia's number 10.
So it's not the keeper that was saving all those shots.
I don't care. I
think the keeper has no credit.
When you brought out this, you said goal of the
top 3 goals of the year.
You didn't say save.
No, I'm just your logic when you said is the reason why they got that Rolls Royce. I think it's more the keeper. Let's be serious.
No, but you still had to go. I mean, they had to win the game. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. EJ, what's your top 3 goals?
Okay, so I'm not like many people who watch goals and marvel. I mean, I can marvel in the moment. I will not remember the goal afterwards. I'm not like you guys. You guys can probably picture goals in your head and remember exactly what happened. So I'm definitely a moments person, like I guess Jola is. So I definitely picked Kylian Mbappe's goal in the World Cup, and it was the second goal. Obviously, that's I think that moment it was an 80-something minute. Was it in the 80-something minute? Yeah. It was an 80-something minute. It was clutch. It's what I call clutch. Those of us that watch American sports appreciate clutch moments. When you guys say Mbappe didn't play for 70 minutes, like, I don't care. The match lasts for 90 minutes, and he came alive when it mattered. Yeah. That's kind of what we like sometimes. So yeah, excellent goal, I thought, and it made all the difference. Even though at the end of the day it didn't really count, but it made what we call this World Cup. We all refer to the final as one of the best finals we've ever seen. If that didn't happen, it's a walk in the park for Argentina. Okay, and that's that one. And I went with I think City, like you guys said earlier, the City played perfectly for 90 minutes. I mean, that game, the goal that Rodrigo scored in the Champions League semis was at the 91st minute. That was the goal that tied the game. And then they still had to score again. I'm not counting the penalty that Benzema
outside of the foot from Modric. Was that
the what? Yes.
The one from Modric passed it.
No.
Outside of
the second goal was a cross, and then it was a header by Rodrigo. I don't know who passed in the ball. I feel like it wasn't Modric. Okay. So yeah. So that header that tied the game, and then it was 5-5, and then obviously Benzema scored the penalty. But that moment of tying the game, that gave them even any kind of life, that was crucial. So that was good. And then the third goal I'm picking, because these kind of questions that Ayo gave us doesn't allow me to highlight my team. Anyway, so I'm going to pick a team. I'm going to pick someone from my team, and I'm going to pick my new favorite player, probably second favorite player, young Bukayo Saka. When it came to Liverpool, we've not beaten Liverpool home or away since Klopp entered that league. Actually, we have beaten them one time. I don't count that pandemic win. I don't really count it because it was very pandemic-y. But we haven't beaten them in a while. And then we're playing. We scored the first goal. It's amazing. Whatever. We got that dubious penalty everyone's angry about. I think it was clearly a penalty. Bukayo steps up, and everybody knows that Bukayo has been stepping up to take our penalties since he missed the penalty at the Euros, which turned him into a national icon. And I think he is currently the face of the Premier League, not just Arsenal. He steps up and stands up in front of that goal against Alisson, arguably the best keeper in the Premier League, and buries it. I think that's just guts. That's everything. So that he wins my third goal for this year.
Really, EJ?
Penalty.
Really?
I am going to give us 3 penalty Messi goals.
Really? You just had. Listen, big up Bukayo Saka. He's like our little nephew.
Yeah, he's our nephew.
Man, we're talking about top 3 goals of the entire year, 2020. This woman went and picked a Bukayo Saka.
It's the moment, man. The moment.
And I'm pretty sure
I hear that.
I feel like I'm pretty sure you can find a better Arsenal goal. That's good.
I don't remember these goals.
In fact,
I don't remember goals.
Thomas Partey's goal against Manchester United.
Oh, that was that. No, I don't remember. No, we scored against Tottenham. Thomas Partey has 2 goals that are identical. They're 2 excellent goals.
One was Spurs. Was it Manchester?
Yeah, one was Spurs.
Sorry. That's a better goal than Bukayo Saka's penalty.
Of course,
But
any goal is better than
I'll
a penalty goal.
I'll allow you.
But we keep my son's goal. We'll keep it.
As I want to believe this is Ben Video Mabala. I want to believe that's this is the trend of this. Says my favorite goal is 3 Messi's penalty goal versus France. Morocco goal versus Portugal because I know he doesn't like Portugal. Third, Julian Alvarez versus.
That was a good goal.
That was a good goal. So my 3, number 1 is Mo Salah's goal against Man City, the one where he caught in. Yeah. Oh, that goal was incredible. Hopefully that was this year, right? Was that this year? I hope that was in 2021.
Allah would remember. Allah would remember. I wish Allah was here.
Hopefully this year. I think it was this year. But that goal was
so many games.
Yeah. That goal was incredible. My second goal, of course, is Leo Messi's goal. Joel Alvarez's goal against Croatia, but just because of the Messi. So maybe that's what he's talking about. The Messi dribble against Gavidal and destroy him. That was
a good goal.
Yeah. So that whole setup. My final goal is actually Frederick Valverde's goal, but this one wasn't Cadiz. It was Mallorca. He the way he shot that, the ball almost went through the net. Like in La Liga, if you see that goal, the way he smashed that ball from just right in front of the box, it was such an angry. It was like he was mad. Nearly scored. He was like, take the ball. And that was an equalizer. That goal was incredible. I was like, damn, why this boy can shoot I think it was left leg also. So for me, these are my
I remember that goal.
Those are my top 3 goals. I guess there's a couple of shouts that I like. I remember Partey's goal. Partey's goal against Tottenham was a very, very good goal.
Yeah.
Now that they score goals, I like
I think Kevin De Bruyne had a free kick. I forgot who he was against. I mean, there are a lot of shouts. Richarlison's goal in the World Cup.
Yes. That was an incredible goal. Yes, I agree. The free kick setup by Holland, by Netherlands against Argentina. That's a goal that shocked me. I didn't believe. How?
Talk about football IQ. Listen, if that is not from the training ground, then it's just even more ridiculous because that looks like something they practice in the training ground. But if it didn't, and if they just winged it right there, wow, intelligence.
I would think they probably did, but I think that routine was probably suggested by Weghorst. Funny enough, because he did that same goal for Wolfsburg 2 years ago. The same goal, and he was the same person that scored it. So I think he's gonna brought that let's try this.
Okay.
My favorite category.
Which one is the next? Catfish?
Team of the year.
Catfish?
It's my favorite category. EJ, Who's your catfish team of the year?
I don't know. Like, what does this mean? Like the team that is deceptive, that
Oh,
look good but isn't good.
I'll give you the other one.
The team that use
Other
makeup.
way.
The team that use makeup.
I use what?
The team that use makeup the most to cover their
and show up the dates and just like, whoa.
and
whoa,
show us the
whoa.
day.
Like,
The team that you have to take to the swimming pool on the first date.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's United for me. I think you guys are. You see, I don't know. I think you guys you should have been doing better than you did. I mean, I don't know. What's this question telling me? Like,
so
because
it's both ways, right? It's like a team that either showed so much promise and disappointed, or
yeah, I think it's United.
nobody gave a chance and like they came out of nowhere. So it could be both ways.
Okay, yeah, this is definitely United for me this year.
Okay,
Yeah.
why is it United?
What are you smoking?
Why is it United? I'm
Why
curious.
not? Like, you guys had a lot of
Okay,
you
no.
punched way below your belt. Like, your talent pool, you should have been doing way better than you did. And then you always act like you should be doing better than you do too, and then you don't. It's like it's clearly United.
What is?
I don't know. Maybe one of you should answer this question. Let me see what you're really saying.
No.
When I saw this question, I was like, "Oh, it's United," but then you sound surprised.
How can you sit there and talk and say Man United are the catfish team of the season when everybody knew that by the beginning of this year we were already out of every single race that we were in the beginning of the season?
But you shouldn't have been.
What do you mean we shouldn't have been?
Yeah, your quality is better than you guys portray.
No. Listen, money is not quality. Okay,
It's not money, it's the players. And then you guys now bought more people, and you're still hovering around.
Okay.
I mean, you're doing better now, which I still think you're catfishing us.
No, hold on. At the beginning of last season, okay, we still had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, probably the worst manager to ever walk the face of this earth. Okay, and then in that team, we had Cristiano Ronaldo at the age of 37. Probably the worst player any team could have brought into their team if they had ambitions of winning anything. With Ronaldo, you couldn't even win the Pringles Cup with Cristiano Ronaldo in any team.
Game was a catfish in the team because he was scoring goals and he was your highest goal scorer, but it didn't mean anything.
EJ, it doesn't matter. But what the point is this: by this time in 2020, by December 2021, we already had Oli. Right, our team was in shambles. We hired a manager who was not even a manager. We hired a sporting director to do the job of a manager, and you guys
told us he would be awesome, and then he came and it was also crap.
EJ, let me finish. And then we still had to deal with the likes of Harry Maguire in centre back. We had to deal with the likes of Scott McTominay as a midfielder who hides. I've never seen a midfielder who hides from the ball. Then we had to deal with man like Fred, okay, as a partner with Scott McTominay. Then we had to deal with man like Marcus Rashford, who retired from playing football. He took a year off, pretty much. Man took a year off.
He was there. He has been there this whole season.
I'm glad you're saying everything. Like, you think that's going to change your mind. I'm just keep going. You think that's going to change your mind?
No. And then we had the issue with the man whose name shall not be mentioned, Lord Voldemort, right? Serving a prison sentence. No. The man that is in an orange jumpsuit.
Oh,
right?
okay, that one.
The man that's in an orange jumpsuit wearing the number 11 shirt for Manchester United. We had to deal with that, right? And then you're calling us Catfish Team. Bro, are you forgetting what Tottenham? Are you forgetting Tottenham? Right? Are you forgetting teams like freaking even Arsenal? Arsenal was more catfish than Manchester United. You guys had top 4 in the palm of your hand. You guys had bro. You guys.
If that's what you mean by catfish, sure. But like, I think it's clear. Hold on. You said all you have to say. Sorry. So if you're going to bring Arsenal into this conversation, I have to talk. You're talking about catfish and Arsenal. You're mentioning bottling as one of the reasons for us being a catfish team.
Yes.
That's not even true. Guess what? There is a very good explanation for why we lost those games. That's why everyone doesn't understand. That's why you guys are looking at us now at the top of the table, because you didn't understand that to begin with. We're injured, depleted, and we didn't have players. That's why we didn't finish out the game. There is youth involved. You guys, you didn't have any major injury. You had all your players. I don't know why you couldn't do anything. Did you guys finish above us? No, you didn't. You finished 6th. I don't know. You guys give your answer. I beg.
Yeah, that's fine. No, you can chat. Sure.
Okay.
I like the argument.
Tottenham is a good answer. I agree. Tottenham is good.
I'm
But
done.
I feel like we're going to see more Tottenham catfishing next year or this year. I can't say they truly catfished in 2022.
Okay.
No, but we're talking about the calendar year, though.
Yeah.
Shabi. We're talking
That's
about
what I'm
calendar
saying.
year.
But the true calendar year of 2022, did Tottenham truly catfish us? Towards the Tottenham just started kind of sucking towards the end of this year.
Correct. That's why they're catfish. Like that's so. Now let me jump in and mine. So mine
Okay.
mine is Tottenham because
maybe, like I said, I didn't like the question. Go on.
Mine is Tottenham because they came. Antonio Conte came the year before. They went on this amazing run. They looked like they were a team on up and up. They surpassed Arsenal, who were favorites, slight favorites to finish top 4. They surpassed Arsenal. They looked like they were on the up and up, right? The transfer window, they brought in Bissouma.
Yes.
People like their signings were good. I thought they were going to do well.
They catfished y'all. I wasn't confused.
I'm about to lose the bet. I thought Tottenham was going to finish above Arsenal, right? I had the bet with justice. Yeah, so that's how the catfish a lot of people, I think, because when you see a lot of people, when you see how trajectory, so that's
maybe because I wasn't catfished by them. I don't know what the deal is.
That's fine, but I'm not saying EJ, I'm not saying you're wrong. It's an opinion, right?
He's saying I'm wrong.
Oh, that's fine. He's just defending.
No, she's wrong. No, she's wrong.
Super United fan. That's fine. So let me say mine. I think mine is Tottenham. They promise to be on this promising trajectory, right? Usurping Arsenal. They look like they were going the right direction. A lot of Arsenal fans end their last season calling for their manager's head. I remember all of them. We have all the videos are there, calling for their manager's head. And but now you see while Arsenal is pretty much they are like, woo, they're tanking seriously. Their football is horrible, really, really horrible to watch. They're probably the worst playing team in the top 10. You can't say that. Like you watch Fulham, you watch Brentford, you can't even get excited. You watch it now, like what's going on?
Brighton,
the trajectory of them, what they promised, especially from transfer window, that looked like it was good. They go, it's not looking good. It's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good. So that's my catfish team.
Yeah, my catfish team has to be Tottenham. It has to be. And they're catfish in every department. When you bring in a manager like Antonio Conte, you have to bring in ready-made product. Conte doesn't do young players. That is why, even though Emerson Royal sucks, Sergio Aurier is better than Emerson Royal. I don't know how you get rid of Sergio Aurier and then bring somebody who is worse than him. That guy is dead food. And Conte keeps playing him. That's how much he doesn't trust young players. Jet Spence is on the bench. Bro, that guy is sitting on the bench like he's at a bus stop. He will never smell the starting 11. Why? Because Conte just does not do young players. The only reason Brian Hill saw some game time was because I think just because they had injuries and they were depleted and he had no choice. This guy does not like young players. So they have to hold that L. You bring in Conte, you have to give him, he does not cook. He likes ready-made food. That's it. And when they brought in Bissouma in the summer, they brought in Rodrigo Bentancur in January last year. They brought in, who did they bring again? From Kulusevski. They brought in Kulusevski. And who else did they bring in? I forget who they brought in the summer. The guy from Barcelona, left foot, center back. What's his name? Langley. Right. They brought in Langley. I put them straight in top 4. Straight.
I do too.
I think Conte's football is a little too pragmatic. And it's okay to be pragmatic, but when you're playing defensive ball, like it's another level of failure when you're playing defensively and you're still leaking goals. It's mad.
Right.
Eric Dyer. Wow. I don't know. So and Hugo Lloris, like this guy, he looks like a decent goalkeeper for France. And then you just look, but yeah, Tottenham catfish team of the year. But on the flip side, the positive catfish team of the year, I would say, like a team that we did not expect much from, but then they ended up delivering well. Either Newcastle or Brighton, at least in the Premier League. I don't know. I'm not sure.
And that's
I'm not sure.
I agree with you too. Says the Catfish Team was in England.
Yeah.
I expect them to do well at least between 6 to 8. I didn't expect them to be fighting for European football spots. Very, very, very true. So one last shout out I have is Brazil. Look how all confident about them, and they went out in a whimper.
You know what?
Against Croatia. Yeah, Brazil was catfish. They looked like they were defeated. Everyone was saying they were going to the final. And
people already gave them the World Cup. People already gave them the trophy.
Yeah. The way they went out against Croatia. Like
I mean, I guess that's true, but that was it wasn't a bad going out. It was just very abrupt.
Yeah.
Like they didn't look bad going out.
It was actually bad going out because
but like
the way
we wouldn't say it's worse than like your Germany's or Belgium's. And Belgium is I'm not saying anyone gave those ones chances, but like I think people definitely gave Belgium a chance to get to the quarters.
That's actually a good shout for Catfish. Yeah. Belgium going out first round in the group that had Morocco.
Yeah. Was it?
That's a weird
Morocco, Costa Rica, Belgium, and some other team.
Croatia was in their group. I remember that. Yeah. And they went out. Yeah, Belgium. I agree. That's a very, very good shot for Catfish. I agree with that 100%.
Okay, I'll change my answer from United to Belgium.
It's too late now. It's too late now. It's too late now.
It's not too late. It's not too late. It's not too late. We accept it.
I cannot believe EJ said Manchester United. Wow.
That's all right. I didn't really get the question.
The beef is strong. The beef is strong for EJ. We know. Donkey of the year. Let me start with EJ because I have an idea what Oga is going to say. I'll start with EJ.
Donkey. I know what both of your answers are going to be, and I think
they're going to be shocked in my mind, though.
Okay, so let me just choose that answer then. I will go with Ronaldo. I think just the whole sequence of events just did not work out in his favor, and we're looking at an aging not quarterback, an aging striker who's I believe he will come to terms with. I watched the whole interview, so I understand where he's coming from. I think he knows his own weaknesses and he knows his own I'm going to say fallibility. I'm not sure if that's a word, but basically I know that he knows that his career is going to end at some point. He just thinks it's going to end at 40. He's not aware that he is on a decline currently. So he thinks he can still play at the highest level, listening to that interview. So because he's at odds, his own feelings currently is at odds with his own ability, or even the way any club would choose to use him, how much he earns, how much he would command, all that stuff. It doesn't really match up with what any club is willing to do for him, especially in a league like this. He wants to play in the top 5, one of the top 5 leagues, one of the top 5 clubs that will win a league, a title, and compete in Champions League. And he's not been that guy since he left Juve. Once he left Juve and went to United, he already knew that he was not going to win a title because United is never, they're not currently one of the teams. He had to go to City. He didn't go to City, so he was already on a different trajectory after that. So, but he is a donkey for going on to that show and doing the interview. Yes, I'd like to hear the interview because I wanted to hear his own point of view, but it's too inflammatory. You can't really do that. And, I understand he burned so many bridges, let's put it that way. And now he's going to play in Saudi Arabia. He'll make money, but who watches Saudi Arabia? I know he's going to bring publicity to Saudi Arabia, but it's going to stay within Saudi Arabia. There's nothing you can do that he's not big enough to make the world watch. And I'm going to be careful how I say this. I don't believe he is big enough to make the world tune into Saudi football. Now, maybe some people, his diehard fans will, but I just don't think it's that big. So, yeah, he has to win. You said the whole year. He definitely is he's the donkey of the whole year.
They have to get VIP. Even his diehard fans have to get VIP premium package, not just premium package for cable.
Oh, you see?
Yeah. Al Jazeera, nah. Okay, come here. Just tell us why it's Cristiano Ronaldo. We know. Just tell us.
All right. Actually, it is not. It is Cristiano Ronaldo is the donkey of 2022. Him and along with his busload, trainload, shipload of fanboys and fangirls. And the reason I say that is because
Careful,
again,
careful. We have one on this pod. Be careful.
oh, I know.
Who, me?
And the reason I say that is because look,
AJ, you want to deny him now? I saw all your tweets. I was just
AJ out here looking like Jesus. Don't deny him.
My friend,
I'm
Don't
just
deny
winding
him.
you guys up. It's fun.
this fan girl, this guy. Okay, that's interesting.
I have to support a man when he's down.
Okay.
The thing about Ronaldo fanboys and fangirls is that they will find any argument. They will grasp at straws. They will pull arguments from thin air. They will pull arguments from their behind just to defend this guy. Just to say that, oh, well, even though he did this, he is still allow it. Cristiano Ronaldo began his donkey era by trying to push a move out of Manchester United, right? And I remember, I think it was around like maybe April when United was really going through that rough patch. Ronaldo came out, there was, I think he did a post-match interview or did the Instagram, I don't remember, when he said, and this was like toward the end of the season, where he said, he pretty much made it clear that, oh yeah, I have no plans leaving Manchester United, blah, 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 blah. It was at that moment I knew he was leaving. Because again, every time Ronaldo comes out to say something like that, that means he's on the way out. Like people who know Ronaldo, and I'm talking people who knew him from way back when he first signed for United, every time he seems to commit himself to the future of a club, it means he is on the way out. He did it several times at Manchester United, right?
Yep.
We could not even win the Champions League in peace as Manchester United fans without being bothered by the whole Ronaldo might leave, lying to our faces, but negotiating behind our backs. It is fine. We know we can read Ronaldo like a book. So when he came out like that, I'm like, you know what? He's gonna leave. And I did post it in our group, like he's on his way out.
He did. I remember this.
The problem is this, right? When you spend the whole summer, right, hawking yourself like tomato in Lagos traffic, right, to every single club in Europe. This man even locked him. His agent even talked to Eintracht Frankfurt. Bro, listen to me. Eintracht Frankfurt, bro. Right. The CEO had to come out and say, yeah, you know, he doesn't. How many times did Oliver Kahn come out to say Bayern Munich, even though we sold Lewandowski? Get this. Even though they sold Lewandowski, they're like, bruv, Ronaldo, we're not going there. Right. Yeah. We would rather play Sadio Mane as a false nine. We would rather play Serge Gnabry as a false nine. We would rather try to shoehorn Thomas Müller as the number 9 than bring Ronaldo to our club. Listen, guys, people know football, right? And people that make decisions like this, they make it in the interest of the playing philosophy. They make it in the interest of team chemistry. Yes. This guy does not fit into it just does not fit into the model of any team that seeks to achieve any positive results in European football, point blank, period. The only team that I was so hoping that Ronaldo would go to Chelsea. But luckily for Chelsea fans, they had Thomas Tuchel in that club still as the manager. Chelsea fans, that was the last favor Thomas Tuchel did for you guys. And you guys should forever remain in his debt because man like Boli, bruv, he was going to bring Ronaldo for the Instagram likes, bro. He was for the
he's American.
Exactly. So, and again, what were people shouting? You know what's even more crazy? Even Atletico de Madrid. Oh my God. Even Atletico Madrid. Look, Atletico Madrid fans, they had you know how in Madrid it's the richer people, the upper class people are the ones that support Real Madrid, right? And the working class, they're the ones that support Atletico Madrid. These guys, even though they don't speak English, they had to go on Duolingo. They had to go on Google Translate to find a banner, right? To say no to Ronaldo, right? These guys, they had to go learn English to tell the world that they're rejecting Ronaldo. Nobody wanted this guy, yet his fanboys and fangirls, both in the media and out of the media, kept saying that, oh, Manchester United are the ones holding him hostage. Manchester United put him on 500,000 pounds because of that. Nobody wanted him. Exactly. Manchester United are the ones demanding a transfer fee. Eric Ten Hag is doing blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? Transfer fee, $0. $0, bro. Salary, $0,000 per week. Where does this man go? This man is selling kebabs. This guy is riding an SUV through the deserts. This guy is sandboarding, bro. That is exactly what he's doing. So tell me what it was really about the whole time. Listen, nobody wanted him, and we knew this the whole time. Nobody wanted him. Nobody wanted him. Look, because what's crazy is this. I know that there are American teams that would have wanted Ronaldo.
Yeah, of course.
LAFC, LA Galaxy, New York Red Bull, maybe Miami. Even there was talk of Inter Miami doing something, but they're not about to pay him $200 million a year. They were never going to do that.
He can't go to America. He can't go to America.
He can't go to America.
Oh, exposed. I forgot about that.
In the case,
Turkey would have been happy to have him.
He won, right? The case is closed. He won the case, but the problem is there's also the image, right? There's the image around it. Like, it's possible, like, he comes. I'm sure his legal people advised him, like, nah, for your image, if you go,
right.
America is a different beast. People will rise up, like, nah. So he can't come.
But that is, and you know what? He would have avoided being a donkey had they even delayed until the new year to announce the deal. But because it came in 2022, bruv, he is donkey of the entire year. This guy, I am so glad. I am so glad he is out of my team. I am so glad the debate is completely settled.
But it's kind of sad, right?
Huh?
It's kind of sad that this is how that man that came to you guys as a young boy.
That's for who?
For y'all. I mean, you guys is legend. You guys have even taken off legend status from him. You guys don't like him anymore.
We're not talking about that right now. We can revisit the legend issue. We can revisit the legend issue. But
our legend, like I told everybody, our legends don't inspect jacuzzis. I'm telling you what this is. Our legends don't care about.
So he has disqualified him.
He was inspecting jacuzzi and telling everybody how the jacuzzi United. So that's why I call him jacuzzi inspector now. I've moved from a jacuzzi inspector. That's why he was our jacuzzi inspector.
Okay.
But yeah, that is him and his fanboys and fangirls they're the donkey of 2022, and they can go ahead and get a VPN so they can watch the Saudi Arabian league. Manchester
United legend. So isn't he a legend anymore? Henry Ibu Cotton is asking you sure?
About what?
So isn't he a legend anymore? I guess about Ronaldo.
Well, no. So I think I've learned as a football fan that when your emotions are hot, I'm still boiling. You know, as a fan, it'll take me a long time to forget this. To forget the whole Ronaldo thing. So this is not the right time for me to engage in that conversation now because my emotions will take over the entire argument. But it will be a very tough call for me to say Ronaldo is not a legend anymore. But when I calm down and when maybe when he retires and a few years pass, then we can reassess that question.
Like Arsenal fans, we call RVP. I call him OAG. That's once a gooner, always a gooner. But that legend, he's not a legend, bro. And he would have been easily 8 years with top goal scorer awards. Even if he didn't win anything, he would have been a legend of the Emirates era. But nah, he doesn't get it. He gets OAG.
Oh, Robin Van Persie. Oh. So don't care of the year. Before we go to mine, because it's not Ronaldo, right? But he gets a major shout out because everybody has talked about him. I don't want to repeat. For all the bullets I took for Ronaldo, right? I feel like when everything ended, I was very chill with it. Because I could have gone crazy for all the people on this Ronaldo issue from like 2019 when I was warning people. I think EJ edits all the videos. So it's there, right? EJ, you have all the
Yeah, consistent,
when
consistent.
I said like this guy needs to be out of this team. That this guy is going to destabilize Ten Hag's team. This was before all of this happened. I was telling people about this guy. That this is what he does. So yeah, him and Piers Morgan, they deserve each other. That's how I'm going to end that. They deserve each other. Mine is actually Infantino. Infantino is my donkey of
Mhm.
the year.
Yeah.
That statement he made, absolutely. Let me first start with that. It's not just because of that. That statement he made when he said he's gay, I'm African. I'm like, bro,
I feel
who
gay.
are you? I feel African. I feel black. Hey, bro, who are you? Then I said, of course, I'm not. Then why are you saying that? What are you doing? Then just I'm not going to give him credit for how incredible. I think the reason why the World Cup was exciting, right, was because of the players on show. The players gave
Okay.
us the show, right?
Mhm.
Had nothing to do with FIFA. I know people are creating FIFA, some people are creating Qatar, whatever. I don't get involved in that conversation because that goes to a different direction. I'm not even interested in going. I've had this conversation. I stay away from it now. But just the way he ran, then the ending of the World Cup, bringing Salt Bay. What was that about to the final? And Salt Bay was trying to like hold Messi, hold the players. You could see the players
No,
were like, "Bro, who are you? Stop
invited
farming me. I
Southgate.
don't know who you are." Salt Bay was there, like just disrupting.
Was Infantino the person who invited Southgate though?
Yeah, he was the one. And
Yeah, I think he
oh,
was.
he was. Then later I regretted it. Yeah, he was the one. Later I regretted it. Came out, like it caused a whole like thing at the end. Then just like all the things he said, the way he handled all the complaints, fair complaints about the migrant workers that died, the way he just
Yeah.
handled everything, for something that global, he tried to start off like, oh, we're going to like use the World Cup to send a message and bring togetherness, but I think he was just terrible. Infantino's conduct, not the World Cup. Again, I enjoyed the World Cup, was fantastic football and play, but his conduct as FIFA president, yeah, it's just terrible. When all the criticism started and how he handled everything from then and during the tournament and all the things he was doing, yeah, he gets my donkey of the year because of the global stage of what that means. This is FIFA World Cup, so he gets my donkey of the year. Um, but yes, Ronaldo is a close. He's 1A, Ronaldo is 1B for sure. Ronaldo is 1B. Someone said, oh, the only reason I give CR85, okay, we know who this is. The reason I give CR85 donkey of the year is because he gave that huge interview to a creature like Piers Morgan. CR85. Moment of the year. EJ, what's your moment of the year?
Argentina winning the World Cup. Finally, you get an Argentina shout out from me. I think it was a very good moment. I think it's especially because the World Cup happened at the end of the year, so it kind of helped. Like that's the most recent thing I remember, and it was huge for many reasons, right? They hadn't won since '86. It was Messi getting his World Cup. It was him probably putting a cap on his international club, international player, whatever thing. But he said he's not going to retire. I don't think he has to. I say come go to another World Cup. That's me. You'll be 39. You can do it. If you're still playing, why not? But yeah, I think it was such a dramatic final that everything ended at the last minute. Um, such a good moment. Such a good moment.
Mhm.
Okay, comment. What's your moment of the year?
Um, yeah, it has to be World Cup related, and I think it's also Argentina winning the final, but mine was when was it the Qatari prince or whatever put the bisht on Messi. That was
Uh,
it was symbol. The symbolism was there that now you have conquered football. Now you are the king of football in your generation, because that's a big shout too. That is a big shout. If had Ronaldo had Morocco reached the final, oof, yeah, that would have been a moment for me. But yeah, that moment was symbolic. Um, at that moment, the debate was over. at that moment, this guy, like
Yes.
all that was left was to put a football crown on his head. That's all that was left. And you know, it was very symbolic. I think that's the moment of the year. Yeah. The only thing that would have made that better was maybe to have Diego Maradona in the stands, just watching the new king of Argentina take over. So yeah.
Benvito says Morocco reaching the semi-final. That's a good shout. Was
Yeah.
moment of the year for me. That's a very good shout.
Yes. Especially because they beat Portugal.
We know that. That's why. Henry says the World Cup final game itself. Yes.
Mm.
That was the moment of the year. That makes sense. You know that there was no way we were going to do this podcast without giving the tribute to Messi. You guys know that was never not going to happen.
No way.
It just came, the category that people did not expect. For me, right, your Messi means a lot to me, and that him winning that World Cup crowns so much how I feel. And it's very funny. My trajectory with Messi is because when I started watching him, like I remember, like the first time I really, really, really intensely watched him. Forget under 20s. I mean, I remember seeing him then, but then I mean, I'm not watching him intensely. I was just pro Nigeria watching it. It was the El Clasico, I think a year after that, or 2 years after that, under 20, where he scored a hat trick. And I was looking at this kid like, who is this boy? Like, what is this? What is this? Then that's when I started paying attention to this guy. Like, whoa, who is this guy? And but at that time, I was a heavy pro CR7 fan. Heavy. That's the funny thing. I put on my trajectory. I was a heavy CR7 fan. But United fans then used to say when we won Champions League, he's better than Messi. I remember telling people, I remember watching this then with my friends. I'm like, you should just calm down. Like, are you people watching the same people now? Just relax. Like, we're enjoying our win because we beat Barcelona, I remember, on the way to win that Champions League in 2008.
Yeah.
It's like, just relax. This boy is something else. They just relax. I also think the fact that people needed, him to win a World Cup, which is on penalty, which could have gone either way, if Moani had scored that final kick just for the penalty shootout, now realize that Messi is the best player in the world. We didn't need this World Cup. That's what I've been saying this for sure. No. We didn't need this World Cup to see that Messi, in my opinion, is the greatest player I have seen. And okay, Zaza in the comments, I've had argument with many people. I said I wasn't alive during Pele. I'm not going to judge a player over highlights. Maradona in the 80s, I wasn't watching that much football. I was a kid, right? Like my first time I watched 1990. I remember that, and that performance 1990 was So yeah, so I wasn't watching Napoli week in, week out. I've had argument with people. I wasn't watching Napoli in the 80s, so I don't know what Maradona was doing during that period. Yeah. Like week in, week out, I wasn't watching, but this is somebody that I've watched consistently over a decade, like multiple 60-70% league games for a long time. Maybe until the last couple of years, I've not had time. Champions League, like this guy is incredible. Can do it all, and all the trophies that he's won and missed out, here and there in Champions League. On winning with Argentina, and people keep saying they wanted, they need Messi to win this to prove this.
Yeah.
So I was just very excited, happy for him, because I feel like Leo Messi is somebody that a lot of people are like his fans. Like I really don't care for Argentina. I've said it many times. I don't care for Argentina for different reasons. I'm not going to go into why. But I have always wanted him to just win it, just because I feel like this moment he's wanted it for so long, and I don't like to say the player deserves anything, because in football you don't really deserve anything until you win it, right? But this is one exception I'm going to make. I feel like he deserves to win it just because of the pressure, the amount of pressure. People forget that this is the one that comes right after Maradona. People forget his history, because you remember he grew up in Spain, right? He's been in Spain like it was 10, 11. He could have Busquets tried many times to like convert him, even after 20. And all the pressure, like he wasn't accepted in Argentina for people forget that. Like the Argentina did not really accept Messi for a long time, because they keep putting that pressure. Oh, he's not Maradona. He has not won the World Cup. He has not, for so long. So I was just happy for him, because I understand the amount of pressure, and and just reading all the things that was talked about. Scaloni came out and said all the things how he went. I read like a whole tribute throughout the World Cup after the Saudi Arabia game when he spoke to the players to motivate them before the final. Scaloni came out and said he was under so much pressure, like internally. And he says it's not because of him or losing, because it's fine, because he said they won Copa America. Like he was under so much pressure, Scaloni, and he spoke to Messi. Because he said he was, and the only reason why he was under so much pressure was like, man, if Messi doesn't win this World Cup, like
They'll blame him.
yeah, the criticism, everything. And Messi told him, like, don't worry, if we don't win, it's fine. It's okay. Messi actually told Scaloni, don't worry, if we don't win, it is fine. It will be fine. Like the world will come to an end, you know. So I'm happy for him, and that was why when him the win that World Cup was just for me my crown moment. That, okay, he can just go into himself.
I think the only thing the only reason Messi had to win that World Cup, I agree with you. I agree with you that he didn't need to win the World Cup to prove that he's the best player of his generation. I agree with that. But he needed to win the World Cup to join the Academy of Football Gods, because you cannot join that academy. You cannot join the likes of, Pelé, Maradona, the Zoo. But I just feel like you have to win the World Cup to join that, elites, to join that elite group. But for everything else, he didn't need to win the World Cup.
I would say I don't think he had to. I'm of the team, and I'll tell you why. And it's the same argument I have with LeBron, Jordan. I'm very consistent across all the sports. I think if you are a physical specimen that's observable, we should be able to see that you are that good. And I think we can see when he plays week in, week out for his club.
Yeah.
And even when you compare the levels at which they were playing, I'm not saying they weren't doing anything in the 50s, 60s, but Pele, RIP Pele, but what do we really know about his club performances? Like, what kind of level of competition was he playing against? That's not the World Cup that you can truly say that Messi wasn't doing in Barcelona, Europe, UEFA. All these goals that Messi scored throughout his career against stiff competition. And it's like how sports evolves over time. We're saying that now you're competing against players that are all better as a group compared to how they were 30 years ago. That's just how, like, what Michael Jordan was doing 30 years ago, it was maybe only him and two other people doing it. Now, everybody that watched Michael Jordan can do what he was doing back then, like skills, things like that. And so the competition is fiercer in this world, in basketball. But same thing with football. Like, the game evolves, your equipment evolves, training evolves, everything is different. I just can't imagine that I can say convincingly that Messi truly needed a knockout competition to prove that his skill sets and his performances can't hold a candle to Pele because he won 3 World Cups. Or Maradona. How many World Cups did Maradona win? 2?
1.
Oh, he only won 1? I thought he won in 78. Okay, no.
Oh, he wasn't there. He was a kid then.
Oh, sheesh. So they won 80. He won 86. Okay.
Yeah, they went to the final in 1990. He got to the final in 1990.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I agree with you, EJ, in terms of ability. In terms of, we didn't need to World Cup to show that, in terms of ability, Messi matches up to the rest of the greats. Like you say, back then there were not that many people performing or having the kind of skill that the Peles and the Maradonas and the rest of them had. At the same time, again, these days you have digital equipment to help people train better and all these things. You have it's easier to get penalties and things like that than it was back then. So at the end of the day, it evens out. That's what I think. And when things are so even, how am I going to differentiate, between a god and a great? I feel like that has to be the World Cup. So that's why I needed Messi to win that for me to put him on the same level as the Diegos and the rest of them.
Yeah, team sports. I think anything can happen.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think he's the greatest of all time, regardless.
I think it adds a cherry to the top. Let me put it like that. Maybe that's why it's very nice that he has this. That when he retires, it will be like World Cup winner, blah blah blah, Copa America winner, how many X championships and Champions Leagues. It'll be very nice. But
Yeah.
Let me take comments quickly. I think Henry says probably the best I've ever seen in my life. I don't know who he's talking about there. I want to assume it's
Assuming the
Messi.
World Cup
he's
final.
talking about Messi.
Okay. So that says my donkey of the year is VAR. The inconsistency of referees do annoy is understandable, but when VAR creates as much controversy as it's supposed to remove, what is it? My moment it was Morocco's moms kissing their sons. It crowned Morocco's epic year and showed that mothers raising great men are invaluable to the game. That's a good shout. Please respect the king. We are still in mourning right now. Don't bring disrespect by comparing that shoddy to the king right now. Pele is not a good, he's the king. Okay, please. Don't sit down.
Like we said, R.I.P.
All right, yeah.
But that's
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, we said R.I.P. to Pele. I think what I would say about him is that he's like everyone has said it in their tributes, amazing sports icon. And he parlayed his career as a football player into being a universal or worldwide renowned sports icon to where everyone recognizes football because of him.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'll say about that.
yeah, I mean, and I double that. I agree. I second that. Like, yeah, he's an icon. Most of us, at least me, growing up in Nigeria, Lagos, everything I know about being skillful as a footballer when we used to play soccer.
Right.
You say, that guy Napele, that was just so he's an icon, without
Yeah.
even playing. So I agree with that. So wow, this comment. Never looked at it from that perspective when comparing LeBron and Jordan. Who would ever thought I learned anything from an Arsenal fan?
Why you talk about me like this? Who is that? Name yourself.
Who is that?
Give us a name. Don't come on.
Is it Bembindo?
Don't come and talk about you like that. I don't like that. This is the one I sneaked in.
Hey. Who's new? What's going on?
Oh, why you gotta do this? Come on.
I want you to use instinct. That's not no revised EPL top 6.
Arsenal already won the league. Arsenal already won the league. Let's not,
Hey,
there's
revised
no
EPL
point.
top 6. And we'll definitely start with the league leading front
Oh,
runner.
yeah. Look, we're very grateful to be 7 points clear of everyone, including Manchester City. But I think, let's be honest. Let's be very honest. You guys are just still all waiting for the elephant to fall off the tree. Now, I'm not saying we can't win because, like I said earlier, we can win from this position. It's just that there's so many variables that will be involved, and I can't even. It's going to be hard for me to say after 16, 17 games that Arsenal can win this league now, when I know that we're only 2.5 games ahead of City, and we start to play them. So if we play them and they win, that means we're 4 points clear, and then anything can happen after that. It could be 3 draws. It's too close. So I think you still have City as the favorites, but I'm not going to drop us below second. I had us at the beginning of the season. I had us finishing third, so I am going to keep us second. And I think it's United. I think United comes third. You guys are rising. You're fourth now, and Liverpool did not win their game today. That was key. If Liverpool had won, then there's gaps closing. But Liverpool didn't win, so I don't trust them anymore. So I'm going to give you guys third. And there's Newcastle. Also, you guys are talking about Catfish. Now I understand the question. I think they're catfishing all of us. I think they will fall, and they will fall to fourth. But they will be Catfish of 2023. Don't buy them. I don't know why.
They'll fall to fourth, and
Newcastle.
So you are saying they'll fall to fourth, and you are still giving them Catfish? Fourth is
I mean, technically, a lot of people think they will finish second or third. I think they're not going to be top 3. So let's just, don't call them Catfish. I still don't understand that point. Again. Okay, they will fall to fourth. And then you're saying top 6, right? I guess Liverpool, because I don't trust Tottenham. I definitely don't trust Chelsea. But I just don't know, because Chelsea lost yesterday, and now they're 11th or 12th. I don't even know. They're what?
They drew. They didn't lose. They drew yesterday.
Oh, they drew?
Yeah, Chelsea drew, yeah.
Yeah, they drew against Nottingham Forest.
Okay, yeah, sorry, it was 1-1. Yeah, sure. So what do I have? City, Arsenal, United, Newcastle. I'm going to go with Liverpool. I guess Spurs. I don't know. Spurs or Chelsea, one of them. But none of those other teams. Let's stop this. No. Nope.
There are 4 comments. Okay, comment. Just hold that. Someone said he made Abedi Pele popular.
That's God, no, they hate that.
Let's talk about Pele. Let's be calming down.
Oh,
It's
it's
all
Benvindo.
Newcastle's fourth for me.
Newcastle is fourth.
City, Arsenal, United,
Yeah, that's my guy. That's it.
Chiefs, and
That's
Tottenham.
exactly that's my top 6. Hey, Zaza, what is this?
Oh, me and him have a bet. We have a bet, running bet. He's
Okay.
backing Arsenal to win the league.
Okay.
Arsenal third, City second, United third, Newcastle fourth, Liverpool fifth, Spurs sixth. Okay. Hey, Kwame, give us your top 6 now that we're here.
Okay. I think Man City is still going to win the league. Arsenal will come second.
Solid second.
Huh?
Solid second. They'll come solid second.
Solid second. In fact,
more solid than
second,
ever. This will be the most solid second we've ever seen.
No, you guys' solid second was very solid.
This
solid second is implying that the gap between the first and the second is going to be huge.
No,
So is that what you're saying?
No.
I didn't say that.
Okay. Because when you guys won solid second, it was like
EJ, it means that
nobody can take that second position from you. That's what I mean.
Exactly. That's yeah. It means that at worst you will finish second.
That's it.
Yeah. It means that at worst you will finish second. In fact, this will be the solidest of the second
Ever.
because they will even come close to winning the league. I think so. You know, we might come close to winning the leagues, but solid second. So yeah. City, Arsenal. I'm still scared of Liverpool. This is why. Because I'm seeing signs that they did lose to Brentford today, but I'm seeing signs that these guys have goals in them, right? And they can turn on that aggressive pressing whenever they want to, which they did today against Brentford in the second half. And as much as you know, we talk about Indomie noodles, he's looking like he's a better footballer than he has shown in the last few months. Indomie noodles.
Who's that?
Darwin noodles.
Oh gosh.
I think so. And they brought in, that Gakpo guy from PSV. I think they finished third. I think Liverpool still finishes third.
Oh gosh, that's so far.
Newcastle finishes number 4. United finishes 5th, and Spurs number 6.
Okay.
Liverpool's not finishing the third. They are 28 points. They can't do it.
Newcastle is fourth for me. Oh, sorry. This is where we are. Sorry. If that's how you are defining Newcastle as a catfish, does Arsenal qualify as one if they don't win? That's for next year.
That's for next year.
Liverpool was the best solid second. DVD is key to them. They will concede with his form. Interesting.
And even Klopp took him out today at halftime.
Gakpo is trying to be humble.
If you know me, humility is not my forte.
Okay, my revised top EPL. Number 1, not Arsenal. Yeah, that's it.
I was going to die. If we win the league, I may actually go and hide.
Arsenal wins the league, I'm moving out of the country and changing my phone number. Facts.
My Facebook, images, all my social media images will change. I'll swap everything out. It will be somebody else. It won't be me because people will come for me. But yes, number 1 is City. 2, I think Arsenal will push them all the way for sure. Now, just where the Arsenal push them all the way, it might even be as close as I would say. It might actually be as close as Liverpool. Funny enough, like when Liverpool push them all the way, it might be. It might not get to the last day, but I think it might get to the last 4 or 5 days this season. But I think even though they are far behind, it's crazy to say a team that is not playing that well, right? It's crazy. City's not playing that well.
You're still City. You have to respect them.
No, see, because we know that second half. We know in the second half of the season, City usually just,
Correct.
Yeah.
Like Arsenal has been the best, literally the best team in the league. And 16 games ago, everybody's the same. With 7 points, that's huge. Because now it's not like City are looking like, Prime City, where they're just when they enter that robotic mode, right? That robotic mode thing. So I've still not seen it yet.
Where you don't even bother watching the games.
Correct. When they just click and it's just like 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, like 6 games in a row. Arsenal is the one that's kind of doing that now. So, but yeah, I still think when other competitions come into play, I think Arsenal will drop points. I don't see them losing many games, but I can see like a lot of draws in them. Right. And I still say to win this league above City, you probably need like 97, 96 points. I don't see Arsenal getting there. I just don't. It's right second half of the season. I don't see them getting there. But I agree. Second, like they're going to be second, and there'll be a gap. Third, I think even though I wasn't pushing United for a while, I think United will come third.
Yeah,
I think
they're coming third.
I think we'll come third. I actually do think we'll come third. Yeah, I do. I think we'll come third. Of course, injuries can change everything. Let's be serious. It can for everybody.
Even if we don't strengthen in January, because we're not getting any player this transfer window.
I know we're not. I just think Casemiro has been a game changer for that midfield. He's and the defense. So that's why I say injuries, right? Our season is riding on like 3 players, in my opinion. 3 players. Let me try it. Casemiro, Rashford, and Varane. If any of those 3 go down long term, we're done. That's it. Any of them go down like 2 months, we're done. Those are the 3 people carrying our whole season, literally. Those 3 guys. So I think we'll come 30. I think we'll come third. Fourth, I think Liverpool will come fourth. They'll struggle. It won't be a worse struggle than the year they won those 9 out of 10 to come third when they had all those injuries. I think it's a worse struggle because their midfield, unlike other people saying Van Dijk is not their problem. Their problem is their midfield. Their midfield is done.
Yeah, aging midfield.
Yeah, it's aging. That press, that cover they could provide to like TAA and the center backs is gone. Like all that Gigi, this man losing his legs. What's his name?
Milner?
No, not Fabian.
Henderson?
Yeah. So and even Fabio's form. So their midfield is not the same. Defensively, it's not the same anymore. They don't have that control anymore. And last season, what even went for them, it was more of the fact that their firing power was so good and their press was still there because of money. All of that is gone. You know, that money that they're missing in the press is not the same. So, but I think they just have enough firepower when Gakpo gets integrated. What's the guy that got injured? The Colombian guy, Diaz. When they come back, I think they'll generally be fine and start winning games again. But yeah, fifth, Newcastle. I think Newcastle come fifth. I think Spurs will come sixth.
Okay.
I don't think Conte is going to finish the season.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I think he'll start the season.
Gets fired, or do you think he walks? Do you think he gets fired or he walks?
I think it just becomes mutual, one of those, because I think it's because the more he gets, I think it gets toxic. It's going to get more toxic from here.
Because it's already getting toxic. The man is already like talking about.
I saw his press conference. I was like, whoa.
Bro.
Match reaction. He was already talking about his players. His 13 players are not high quality. I'm like, when he starts saying that, I'm like, this man. Yeah. So that's why. So I think they finished sixth because they still have good strikers that win them some games.
You know what I'm going to do at the end of this season? All the episodes. I'll start from last year. All the episodes where we're doing predictions. I'll clip your own predictions separately. Start with Arsenal predictions. He started with we'll finish sixth, and then he went to fifth, and then the next one went to fourth, and then now we're second. Okay, maybe towards the end we'll see what happens, but it will be. Yours, the transition is hilarious. I just watch you every time. It's like every number, Arsenal keeps climbing up. You're like, they'll never do this. They'll never do this.
No, because next week, is because like your prediction can change based on information that you have, right?
I get it.
It changes. I'm watching the games and I'm paying attention. I'm like, okay, I'm looking at like the jump. A lot of players in Arsenal made a jump that I did not expect. I'll be honest about that. I did not expect the jump for Martinelli, Saka. Even
Thomas Partey. Even Thomas Partey
has always been this good.
I think
injuries. I didn't expect him to stay healthy for that long.
Yeah,
that's sure. Shaka is that shocked me the most though.
Shaka and then Saliba was an unknown.
Correct, unknown factor
in the league.
But did Arteta just suddenly become a good manager? Like that man.
He's been good. I've been trying to tell y'all. Ha ha ha.
All right. Whatever.
AJ, we have tapes about you back
Calm
during
down.
the,
This
the,
season alone, me
those
and
time.
Jola had a fight, and I'm going to also clip his comments and send it to you, especially. We had a whole discussion. Dada had to defend Arteta that episode. He was like, "No,
I
no,
remember. I,
okay,
I remember. I
Yeah,
remember.
I
And look,
changed. My opinion has been changed.
yeah, yeah." I know
I
Ayo
always said he
changed,
was good. I always said I
right?
think he's a good coach. But that season you guys came 8 twice. I'm like,
I mean,
I was watching. I was like, I felt like he could have done better with what was provided now.
yeah.
But
I
now
mean,
that I've seen the evolution based on his bias, I'm like, oh, okay, this guy knows exactly what he's doing. He's always known
what he
exactly
wanted to do, yeah,
correct. I just think he stumbled along the way, like in between. Because I think there's some people like when they're like in their evolution, right, as managers, when they have to manage the in between stage, they struggle really, really well. But
yeah.
once they get exactly what they want, everything just clicks, right? So
Yeah, and he definitely had to have the backing of the club. Like you don't go through those phases without either getting sacked or, getting the backing of the club. And he got the backing of the club.
9-11, remember? Arsenal lost 9 in 11 games during that run. EJ, remember that run, right? He lost 9 out of 11 games. That
no, it was like, we lost 9 out of 11 games, and one was a draw.
Top 6, no other top 6 coach survives that. No,
yeah,
no
other coach survives that. Yeah,
I would think
you don't survive it.
Even I even think, and me and Jay, we've talked about this before, right? It's like I even think the reason why I survived that was because of the pandemic. If there were fans in the stadium, that man would have been gone.
I agree. Yeah,
that man would have been
gone. I have to hold that L because I put him just one step ahead of Oli, and now I have to just hold the L, bro.
Nah, he was always better than all of them. He was always better than all. In my opinion, I said it then. I said he was better than all.
Yeah.
From the
I said he was better, but I didn't think it was that much better. I was like.
All I knew is that Pep, all of them kept saying he was a great mind. Mourinho, all of them said it, and I was like, how can they all be liars? Like, yes, they could gas us, but like, there's no way they're all lying at the same time. So
Alex Ferguson said the same thing about David Moyes. So yeah, anyway.
But like David Moyes had a body of work. We knew what he could do. Like it's like top 11, top 10. That was my argument with Unai Emery the whole time. I was like, I know Unai's level. It's 7th position in every league he goes to except for Paris Saint-Germain. And he still lost the league. No. I knew his level. And he's going to finish 8th with Aston Villa. He has a level. We didn't know Arteta's level.
We did not. That's fair. That's a fair point. We did not know. We didn't know what he was. Nobody knew. So
all I said was give him 3 years. Like Klopp. Everybody says shouting at me. I was like Klopp, the way Klopp turned over the team. Give him time to turn over the team and see. I said in the video, give him to 2023. I said all that. After this, I'm going to put my own video up.
You should. You can.
I will.
You can. No, I respect that. I remember you said that they were good to make that jump. That Liverpool defense video I'm doing. Let me take comments, then we can end the show. You mean City max now is 102 points? Nobody's getting 100 points. Let's be serious. Stop this. Yeah. They said they are not missing money. You guys like Wahala. All of them are quiet. None of them are talking in chat. Liverpool fans, you know, all of you, Bola, Linger. I'm going to call out. Where are you? We're looking for you. Both mention Bruno. If anything happens to Bruno, United will suffer. Yeah, fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that's
fair. Burning the bridge. Yeah, that's Conte.
Yeah.
Yep.
Arsenal is a team that's greater than the sum of all their individual parts. That is true.
It's true.
That platform is what makes good teams. Yep.
Because in that Arsenal team, there's not one like all the way superstar, and that's what makes them so good.
A young friend.
I know you want to talk about Bukayo Saka, but I mean,
I get what you mean. I get what you mean. It's not like a Haaland. There's not a yeah. There's not a Hurricane. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, someone said Nketiah is still not the answer. Please.
Of course he's not.
No, he's not. No,
he scored 3 goals, 3 consecutive games. What do people want to get for him to score a hat trick?
I think he scored the first goal. Nketiah scored the first goal. I mean,
the man cannot even make the challenge team. What are you talking about?
No, he can make a challenge. They always just call him. They always say he's fouling the player. He will figure it out.
Man.
Who does he play for again? Ghana?
Yeah.
Well, technically it's still English, but he's trying to. I think they're trying to bring him.
I think he is trying to switch
to Ghana.
He's trying to.
He didn't switch to Ghana, otherwise he would have gone to the World Cup.
He hasn't made the switch yet, but I think they're talking about that. It still ain't good enough, bro. Nah, the IU boys are still better than him.
We've come to the end. EPL's back. Next week we're back to regular. We're back to the regular show from next week. But Saka is better than all your wingers added together, though. How can he be a superstar?
That was. Anyway.
Who is this Arsenal fan now?
That's Benvindo. That's actually Benvindo. I think that's. I think that's.
Yeah.
But that's not the argument I'm making. I'm not comparing him to any of our wingers. He's
He's better than Foden, though.
Saka is better than Rashford. It's not. Stop that.
Saka is better than
what?
Rashford. Saka is better than Anthony. Saka is better than. Huh?
I don't agree. I don't agree. He's better than Rashford. That's my opinion.
Okay. Oh, you're still doing this. Oh, okay. So you want to learn? Okay, no problem.
He's not better than Rashford. Stop this. It's not better than Rashford. Let's stop this.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Nobody agrees with you. Nobody agrees with you on that.
That's fine. Rashford has body of work. He has body of work in Premier League, scoring 20 goals. He has body of work. Rashford has played Champions League, has scored hat-trick in Champions League. Saka has not played one Champions League game. Let's be serious.
Yes.
He's a good.
So
it's true. He hasn't played Champions League game though. He hasn't played one Champions League game.
Who's better? Foden and Rashford. Who's better?
I think Foden.
Oh, okay. So you can compare. But how long has Foden been playing?
Because Foden has played high level Champions League for consistencies in deep Champions League runs. He has been there.
Okay, so but you're saying you can visualize the quality of a player by looking at them. And you're telling me you see Saka and you see Rashford and you're picking Rashford. Even the manager of England don't do that. You that okay? Don't worry. Let's end the podcast. Don't worry. I'm not going to argue this. Saka's going to show all of you.
So you can get offended by blasphemy.
Wait. Hold on. It doesn't matter though. Like that criteria, logic doesn't matter because
why doesn't it matter?
Because that's the team that works for him. He picks Maguire. Is Maguire better than?
You can't.
Is Maguire better than who?
Than some other like English defenders. He's not better than some of the people that he picks, right? He's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what you cannot go by what Southgate does because the man is a dead coach.
No, you can't go by what national team coaches do, regardless. Forget Southgate.
You're talking about. You're telling me that he's picking on the same team. They're all at the World Cup together, and you're telling me he's picking one versus the other. You're telling me that
they don't play in the same position. EJ, they don't play in the same position.
Yeah, one plays on the right. He's not even playing on the left.
AJ,
what's my point?
AJ, national teams is not about picking the best players, but it's what works with whatever the coach chooses. That's how coaches do. That's what Deschamps has been doing with France. When people were complaining, why is he not picking Benzema? Why is he not like? It doesn't matter. That does
even arguably Saka is more valuable to Arsenal than Rashford is valuable to United. Like in every way. Like I don't know what we're talking about here.
Yeah, but that's because of the level of players, right? That you have. Yeah. We just said it's the sum of the parts, right?
But our team is also better than you guys. We're performing better than you guys this whole season, right?
Correct. So we just said, you remember what Bushi said, like the individual and some of the parts. Like you put as a team, but it doesn't mean you have better individual quality players, right? Than we do.
It means Saka is better than Rashford?
I don't think so. That's my opinion.
Okay.
I don't think.
I disagree. So that's fine.
I think he's having a very good season, and I think he has made the jump. And he's Arsenal's best player, and he's very consistent. He's a very good winger. He's a very, very good winger. But to say all of a sudden, because he's had one very good season last season, and he started this season very well, and you're going to throw away Rashford's body of work, I think that's crazy. Personally, like Rashford has scored a hat-trick in Champions League before. Saka has not played the Champions League ever.
I mean, that's a function of the team. Let's stop. That's why we're doing that.
Yes, because that's
it's a function of the team. If my team goes to if he goes to Champions League and scores a hat trick, is that what we're gonna
like? We have not seen him play.
And also, even like Rashford even plays centrally sometimes, so he will score more goals. We're not even talking about just goal scoring.
Champions League is the highest quality with test club.
I mean, yeah, he's just not got to Champions League.
So we don't know. We don't know how he's gonna perform when he gets there.
What do we not know?
Why are we jumping to the conclusion that he's better? I mean, I don't know. I don't believe in this one.
That didn't here.
1.5
Remember
season.
this on January 2nd, 2023.
I think
I said that Rashford is better than Saka.
I think he is because
I think he's not.
He has just end there. That's just why people are just using recency bias and say, oh, because of this recency bias, he's better. Like, I mean, let's be serious here. Rashford, okay. I'm just gonna stop. It's fine. If you think Saka's better,
interesting perspective to have, but it's okay.
Why? He's been playing senior level for 5 years. He's been scoring multiple goals. Saka just broke into the team, and all of a sudden, Saka's better than Rashford. This is weird. It's very weird to me. This kind of conversation. This is we've just seen one good
year. Anti-Arsenal bias that's blocking your eyes, and that's been blocking your eyes for the last 3 years. Yes, just let it go. It's okay.
It's better than the body of 5 years of body of work.
We're not comparing bodies of work. It's the same thing I said when I said Arteta is better than Unai. I'm not comparing bodies of work. Unai has a larger body of work, but Arteta is a better coach. You're telling me that Saka and Rashford, because of his body of work, of course he's going to beat Saka every time. But physically, we look at two different profiles of players.
Judge players, though. That's how you judge players. It's not like Saka has this much talent where you're like, oh, like Saka is not like Haaland in his position, if that makes sense, right? I'm never going to say, oh, let's look for a striker that scored multiple goals. Let me think of some. Maybe Lewandowski, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'll say Haaland is like there's some players that come and say, okay, this man is exceptional. Or like Mbappe. Yeah. I'm not going to say because Neymar, okay, for example, that's perfect. Yeah. And say Neymar is better than Mbappe. It's not possible because Mbappe's talent level is so high. I think Saka is a very, very talented player. He is very consistent. The last 1 year.
So are you saying that Rashford is more talented than Saka?
Last 1 year, he has showed a high level of consistency. I think so. I do think so.
That's okay, then we'll end it there.
I think so. Because I mean, like, what can Saka do that Rashford can't? I'm curious.
Saka that you cannot even get the ball off without fouling him. It's because they're not calling all this. What's going on? Don't worry. Let's just end it. Let's just disagree. Let's agree to disagree.
Yeah, United fan. Do you think Saka is better than Rashford?
He's giving because he agrees. What are you talking about?
I think hold. So I think in the last season or couple of seasons, Saka has had better performances than Rashford. But
yes,
I think Rashford is a better footballer than Saka.
Okay. That's fine. That's fair. And when you say a couple of seasons, it's just last season. Let's be serious, everybody. People say
it's just Rashford had an atrocious season last season. Let's not forget.
I agree with that. And it was new a lot of injuries. I agree with that.
And that's why. And that's why not only did Rashford have an atrocious season, Saka had a good season, even though his team, showed up.
I agree with that.
But in terms of footballer for footballer, talent for talent, I think Rashford is better.
I agree. Like what? Last season, Saka made that jump. I said it.
Why would you end this podcast? Stop talking about this. End it.
No
trying from this. It's not gonna happen. Nobody. Okay, then end it. We're done.
AJ, it's not fine. It's not fine.
It's fine. You can have the Arsenal
bias.
You can have the Arsenal bias on, but I just don't agree. Just because, again, I think people are looking at last season, what happened to Rashford, what happened to United, and say, oh, United are crap, or no, you can't say that now. You just can't. In my opinion, I think Rashford is better than Saka. That's my opinion.
AJ is not happy. Her face.
Wait.
Are we done?
I'll take comments. Let's take comments. Then we're end the pod. But remember, people created the. Wait. Let me go. Okay, so you bench Saka in the United teams.
No. I'll bench Anthony for Saka. I'll put Saka and bench Anthony, of course.
Okay. I don't understand what the question was trying to prove there. Saka is underrated. He's not underrated. He's a very good player. No, but anybody that says he's not a good player is just being crazy.
Saka is not underrated now.
Yeah, exactly. Let's even use England. I don't like getting involved that in a national team conversation. It's apples and orange. Isn't Arsenal's best player? Okay, who's Arsenal's best player? Okay. Who's Arsenal's best player?
Who do you think Arsenal's best player is then?
Saka.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he probably thinks it's Partey.
I think Partey is Arsenal's most crucial player.
Yeah, I think he's going to put them on the same crucial and best. He's going to put them at the same level.
That's fair. I think Saka is the best player. He's been the most consistent, but I think Partey is the most crucial.
Saka that won best English player. I don't know what's going on. Hey, it's all good.
But remember, people graded manager for not playing Rashford anymore. That's true. How did Rashford perform at the World Cup? He scored 3 goals. It's like saying Haaland hasn't scored in the World Cup.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a strange comparison to make.
No. I explained my logic though. Like,
it's a strange logic to have.
It's not though, because like Haaland's talent level.
It's literally when you said Messi not winning the World Cup. If he hadn't won it, he would still be the best. If you understand that, then you should understand that Saka not playing in the Champions League doesn't really. You can see his trajectory. You can see his performance.
I think I take it personal. Listen to my point.
I'm not taking it personally at all.
Messi has played in the
I'm
World
trying to
Cup.
end the conversation.
No,
I think it's fine for you. I think it's fine for you to agree that Rashford is the best. I just think your mind will change later on.
No. Let's go back to the Messi thing. Like, just to explain my logic, like Messi played in the World Cup, right? He played.
Yes.
What I'm saying is we have not seen Saka at the highest level of competition.
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Well, yeah, so we don't know.
I just think it's irrelevant.
I think, I mean, you can't say Champions League irrelevant now when we just used it as a metric.
No, I think it's irrelevant when you're assessing a player's abilities. Let's put it that way. We can see how he plays.
Okay, that's fine. I don't think it is. Agree to disagree.
Exactly. I've been trying to agree to disagree. I'm supposed to be going somewhere. I'm still here agreeing to disagree.
Okay. When went comments went for. This is Rashford's lowest points career. He's just coming back up. This shows you how high he has reached. Saka is really a player. Ayo is so biased.
So biased. Unbelievable.
We have not seen
but let me tell you what's funny. I'm just laughing because I know I'll laugh last.
Okay.
But it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, you said you want to say something. Okay, I thought you wanted to say something.
I was, but I was like, no, let me just laugh last afterwards. I'll bring it back.
Say with confidence.
I think I've been seeing this consistent. I've been seeing some consistent little knocks on Saka over the last year from Ayo, but it's all good.
I think this started from like Saka and Sancho conversation, right?
Saka, Sancho, Saka, Foden.
Yeah, so it's Saka Sancho conversation, right? And at the time, Sancho was a better player, right? Based on his
That's what I'm saying. It's just gonna one after the other. It's just gonna.
Well, Sancho has dropped off, right? Foden, Saka conversation. I think Foden is better, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every time you always pick the other player, but I think in time you'll see. That's my ultimate point. I know you are not above telling us when you change your mind, so we'll see.
I would say if it changes like a year from now, 2 years from now, Saka becomes like Salah and drops out, I'll come back and say yes. Saka is the. But personally, I think Foden is better. Just my opinion. Just a slightly better. End of the pod, so that AJ can go to her meeting. Thanks everyone for joining. We are out.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.